Hello, everybody. It is Monday, the 30th of December, and I want to show you Paul, the false prophet, the one that is leading you into destruction, and that what is happening in the book of the Revelation was never the intention of Jesus. Never. That is not where he was going with that. Now, those Christians are the followers of Paul. They are not the followers of Jesus. They do not see his intention and what he actually did. In fact, they see next to nothing. They have no understanding. As I said, the fullness of the understanding only came to me very recently. And it took me years staring at that. It's not easily seen, but it needs to be seen. The truth needs to be seen, what actually happened there. Now, wisdom, and here's wisdom, the wisdom of Sophia, our wisdom, is built on knowledge that we gain. But I read the Nag Hammadi, or parts of the Nag Hammadi scriptures, and in one part there was the word Sophia, and then in brackets there was wisdom of foresight. Yeah? And that is predictive reasoning, which is actually what separates us from the animals. And we're not using that at all. Christians most certainly don't use any kind of reason. They follow blindly what they've been taught by Paul. So, that's what sets us apart from the animal. Wisdom, I would say, it's knowledge of the past, of the present, and we can predict the future based on knowledge. Animals can go by memory, and they are definitely in now, probably deeper than we are. But the only way they can predict a future is if they have already experienced it, so they're going by memory only. And here again, that's something we do not have to go there in order to experience the outcome. We can reason about it before it happens. So it sets us apart. Another thing that sets us apart from the animal is our ability of speech. And through the ability of speech, we can give knowledge to each other, which is very important. That means only one needs to have an experience, and he can share that knowledge with others. It means the others don't have to go there, especially if it was a bad experience. Yeah, so that we can save each other by giving of our knowledge. Something an animal cannot do. Again, we are not using that ability. Or we don't believe each other. Or, as I said, we have been indoctrinated into thinking that good is bad and bad is good. I want to show you this here, because that is what Paul did. That is absolutely what Paul did. Christians are in the big delusion. They are calling evil good and good evil. And they do not understand what happened. So, the New Testament is a spiritual teaching. And that means it is the knowledge of us on a spiritual level, on the level of energy. Energy created by thoughts and emotions, and what they can work. That is what that shows us. And there were two distinct ways that will, again, lead to different outcomes. They will create different manifestations. Now, one way was clearly the way of the healer. was the way of the healer. And that is what is shown in all the miracles. And it is not, and that again, that is what the story clearly shows. It is not a question of, oh, you're being born an elevated person, bred for centuries in bloodlines to reach that point. Nor does it take an awful lot of knowledge. That is education, that is, educational knowledge. Because the people that did it, they were working class, lower working class, and they were definitely not highly educated. So it shows that everybody can do this, it can be taught. It can also be taught in a very short period of time. Yeah, it was only a matter of months before they got it and could do it. So it shows what a human being is on a spiritual level and what it can do on that level. That it can affect reality. And I say that the way was the way of what it should do is healing. It was healing. It is the way of the healer. The spiritual healer. That is what was shown. And that every human being is capable of that. That is what we can be. That is what we are already. We just need to be aware of what it is we are and how to do it. How to actually work those energies correctly. So that was one way. And there was an outcome. And this is the way of love. This is the way of compassion. This is the way of love your neighbor as yourself. This is the way of continuously give to your knowledge of each other, so that the knowledge shall be in all. That is the way. And then, as I said, Jesus deviated, and that is what I did not understand. What the hell was he doing? He deviated from the way of the healer. He absolutely did. Especially with Lazarus. And he deviated from the truth of a human being. Yeah, if your friend is sick and you have the ability to heal, you go there. You don't sit somewhere and wait for him to die. That is not the truth of a human being. So what was he doing? And the thing is, if he knew the way of the healer, if he knew that truth, why is he going the other way? That is something I never understood until very recently. Because he went from the way of the healer to the way of the revealer, which is a different thing. It bears a different fruit. It does not create a reality here and now, but it is the knowledge of something that is outside of our human reality. It is the knowledge of something else, something alien, something that is not of this world. That is what he was going to reveal. And he went the way of the revealer. And that is when he says, those that would follow me, deny yourself, pick up your cross. If you go in the way of the revealer. Now, again, what he says is standing in the text side by side. Yeah, like it's all the same thing, and it's not. But what he did is basically a Neville Goddard. Yeah, he go to the outcome and then think, speak and do according as if it had already happened. As if you are that. And that is what he's done. And really being single-minded. Yeah? He became single-minded. And the other thing that was clear to me for a long time is that he was given instructions how to do that. That other possibility, that other being, that other consciousness was teaching him. how to become, how to think, how to act, how to do like they do, to become them. And that's what he started doing. And again, what he said and did, and after that, was no longer the truth of a human being, but it was the truth of whatever he was connected to. But he said, as I said, he had to become single-minded. He had to speak that as his truth, to become that. And that is the way of pain. For a human being, that is the way of pain, because you're going up against your own truth. That is the way to the cross. That is the way to death of the ego, of the knowledge of a human being, of being a human being. To be reborn into something else. What was resurrected, came out of the tomb, was no longer human. That was not a human being, not in spirit. So that is what he did. And as I said, it is a way of pain, because we have to go up against our own truth in order to do that. And it's like in the physical body. You know, if you put the wrong food, the wrong substances into your body, it will create physical pain. And that's the equivalent of that in the spiritual. So Jesus went the way of pain, and he was in pain. I would say mentally, it was not just the physical pain of the cross, but there would have been mental anguish that he had to overcome in order to become like them. So he became that energetically. He was that. He had changed actually appearance, and there's again something else that we should actually learn from that teaching, because he still appeared. He had physically changed, but he still looked human. So they can't be that different from us. They can probably walk amongst us and pass as one of us. Something else we should learn from that text. Anyway, so he was resurrected, and then after a while, because he was no longer energetically compatible with this world, he was no longer human. This world, spewed him out in a way. He was raptured, ejected into another reality. It's far out, but that is basically what the text is saying. He went to heaven, he went into that other reality. And then he brought the knowledge of that reality to John. And there is then the revelation, the knowledge of something that is not human, New Jerusalem, an alien presence that is influencing humanity. That is the knowledge that he brought. So again, why did he bring that knowledge? So that we all go there? So that we all know and become part of that kingdom, of that alien presence? He started off a healer. He is still a healer at heart. He is giving that knowledge to warn us, to make us aware of danger. He's giving that knowledge in order to save. Because he is a being of love and compassion. And he sacrificed himself. He sacrificed his humanity to bring that knowledge. Again, one is having the experience, and he gives that knowledge to all so that all do not have to go there. That is why he said it, not go there, but don't go there. There is full on destruction. But here comes, if it was just him, how come the book of the Revelation is full on destruction for all? We are not in a world of healing in the book of the Revelation. We're not. It's war, it's pestilence, it's famine, there's no brotherly love. Yeah? How do we get there? How come the entire world is like that? And that is because of Paul. Because Paul taught that way as the only truth. Paul taught that way as we all should deny ourselves. Jesus showed the only truth. God, the only truth. The one. And that's not what he showed. A possibility. Something that is out there that is influencing us. That is what he showed. And most certainly is not the all itself. It is another being. It's an alien being or beings that are influencing us. That is what he showed. But again, it is the teaching of Paul that in Jesus was the fullness of the Godhead, and that he is the all. And that New Jerusalem is the all, the only true God, the creator of everything. That's our thinking. It is not. The only thing. And even if you look at the New Testament itself to say that is the only possibility, no. There's already another possibility shown in the New Testament itself. There are two possibilities, so how can that be the only truth when the other one exists, has been shown to exist? That is not the truth. It's not the only possibilities, but we're being led on a way where it will become the outcome. And again, the way is the denial of self. Go against your own knowing. Subdue your own truth, your own nature. That is the way. And then really what happens in the book of the Revelation, because for Jesus it was one person that had become the fullness of the energy of that other being to reveal what it was, to know it as an experienced reality. So there was only one person getting basically sucked out of this reality into the other. But what is happening now in the book of the Revelation is there are many. Christianity, New Agers are going there. We're all going there. So there's a lot of people that have energetically changed, that have become no longer human. And then instead of one or a few being taken up, there is an energetic hole, so to speak, big enough to bring that thing down, where it can enter into earth, become a part of earth. And again, it's the human beings there that have energetically changed, that are creating that space, that are the Stargate, that will bring that thing down to earth. And it shouldn't. So, and here's the wrong thinking that will create that. And one of the most basic things is, as I said, I heard it in the New Agers, pain is good, suffering is good. Suffering will lead to the awareness, to the expansion of your awareness. Yes, it does, and it will. But you shouldn't go there. You shouldn't do that. What you are revealing in that expanded awareness is not good. It's going to be destructive. Again, that is what Jesus showed. Don't go there. He brought the knowledge. He had the experience. He sacrificed his humanity to give the knowledge to all to save us from that. And now we're going the way we should all go there. That is the way of Paul. That is the way of the false prophet. And New Agers are on that same way. Suffering is good. Suffering will expand your awareness. You will have greater knowledge. I read it in a book that I'm reading at the moment. Again, I'm not regurgitating what they're saying. I'm in agreement. That it is portrayed to us now like the power of suffering is greater than life itself. The experience of suffering is greater than the experience of life, of being connected to one another, of being in this place. This place is nothing. Our connections are nothing. We are nothing. Suffering is so much greater. Apparently it was in the King's speech. I didn't watch it, so I wasn't aware. I just watched the video. What King Charles actually said was, the way of Christ, the joy of suffering. I mean, let that sink in. The joy of suffering. That's where we're being driven toward, to somehow experience suffering as something joyous, something great, something that will lead us to, it will lead us to an expanded awareness. Jesus has already shown that. And it will lead us to a place where we don't want to be. Where something alien will come to this world and rule over us, and we'll be stood there as children. We will be children forever, being indoctrinated, being ruled over by the knowledge of the cube. So, but as I said, that is the way of Paul, and that is the way it's coming at us from all sides. Deny your humanity. Accept suffering as something great. And that is taking us away from the way of the healer. Because the healer is only a healer because he recognizes that suffering is something that is not great, but something that needs to be healed. Not go deeper and deeper and deeper into the darkness until you have the revelation of the Borg cube. Walk away from that. Be human. Remain human. Stand in your own truth. And here's the thing. That thing may exist, and it may have existed forever. It's always been there. And we've always been influenced by it. It is not a question of going to war with it or going up against it or whatever. It's not. As long as we stand in our own truth, it cannot influence us. It is only the more we deviate from our own truth, the greater its power over us will become, until we become like them. That is what Jesus showed. And as I said, it was never if Jesus was love and compassion, which clearly showed itself in the way of the healer, clearly showed itself. He had that knowledge. Again, one has the knowledge. He can give that knowledge to all. That is what we can do as human beings. We can give that knowledge to each other, our knowledge to each other. He did that in love and compassion in order to heal. He went on the other way to reveal the source of evil, again sacrificing his own humanity in order to save. Out of love and compassion, he didn't change that. In order to change, he revealed the source of evil. Again, that knowledge should have saved us. should save us. The correct understanding of the whole thing should save us. But if we are in the big delusion where we think that is the only way and what is in that cube is actually good, we're calling good evil and evil good, we are following the false teaching of Paul. And it will lead to our destruction. What died on that cross was humanity, was our humanity, was our unique being as a human being. That is what died on the cross. And what was resurrected was no longer human. We are destroying humanity, our humanity. And we're calling it great. We're being told we're on the wrong way through our suffering, and we're calling it great and the way to enlightenment, and we will end up calling evil good and good evil. Stop following Paul. It is never what Jesus had intended. That was his sacrifice. He went on that way as a sacrifice. He sacrificed his humanity in order to bring us the knowledge to save us. And Paul is leading us all down that path into destruction. And that is never what was intended. That is not the intention with which the knowledge was given. He was love, he was compassion. And he gave that knowledge to save us, not to go there. Anyway, here folks, I leave it at that for today. And I talk to you again soon. Bye.